ago, on the night of October 31st, a small Midwestern town fell victim to an escaped killer. Under the cover of darkness, he carried out the most horrifying mass murder on record. 16 people in cold blood. Ever since that night, no one has forgotten his name. And Halloween has never been the same. Now, Michael Myers has come home. He has returned for one more night of unholy terror.
Michael! Somebody help me! He's here to kill that little girl and anybody who gets in his way.
Oh, God.
Who's gonna be next?
Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers.
Maybe nobody knows how to stop him.
What's up, YouTube? We are back again. My name is Gillis the Kid. I'm here again with my friend Mike, and we just got finished watching Halloween 4. Came out in 1988.
Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers.
Return of Michael Myers. But, you know, we'll talk a little bit about the Halloween movies before that, and then we'll go into part 4.
The one we just watched.
Yeah, so, you know, starts off with him killing his sister in, like, the first movie.
Right, which was in 1978. That's how it all started, right?
Yeah.
Went to Smith's Groves.
Yeah.
It was Smith Grove, right? And then, of course, he escaped eventually. Took the car, Loomis's car. Well, I think it was Loomis's car. Drove away.
Right.
And eventually, then it's supposed to be 10 years later, or I forget.
Yeah.
Gets older.
Loomis shoots him like 6 times.
Well, that's at the very end of the movie, right? Well, that's how you find right. And of course, you got Jamie Lee Curtis in the movie, of course, who played Laurie Strode.
Mm-hmm.
Then later you find out that they were brother, and Michael Myers and her were brother and sister.
Right.
You find out the history about that.
I mean, at first they didn't plan it like that.
No, because it was just it was just basically she was the last one left after he killed all her friends and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what just led into the it was just a wild goose chase trying to get her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, trying to hide. You know, she was babysitting Tommy Doyle and Linda.
Yeah.
Was Linda or not Linda?
Lindsay.
Lindsay, that's it. Lindsay. Yeah. Linda was one of her friends that she was the one that got killed with the phone cord on her neck. Right, basically, yeah. So it was a wild goose chase, and then she she's in the she locked herself in the closet first because he got to her in the closet. And then he choked. Well, what happened? Then he choked her. He finally woke up, choked her. Then that's when Loomis came in. Right, and then he shot him 6 times. Fell out of the balcony on the ground. And of course, he looks down and he was gone. He was gone.
And then they go into Halloween 2, which is basically the same night she's transported to that hospital.
To the hospital, right? It picks up where it left off. And what they do is they changed the opening a little different. I mean, like remember part 1 ended when Loomis looked down and he saw that he was gone. Well, then this one, you see him run down the stairs. Mm-hmm. Remember, he comes out, and then he sees. But it's just neat that you see like his whole body, like blood. His whole body was like blood. It was like a blood of his body on the ground. And of course, that's when Loomis went crazy. He talked to Sheriff Brackett, saying, "I shot him 6 times. Yeah. I shot him. He's not human." And eventually, she goes to the hospital, and eventually,
he had like 5 characters in that movie, didn't they? It was like a low-budget movie.
You're right. The other main character was Jimmy.
Yeah.
She was the one. He was the one that took her to the hospital. They were in the ambulance. They took her to the hospital. Of course, eventually, Michael Myers finds out that she went to the hospital. So he pretty much stays there the whole time and kills.
It was the nurse. It was a doctor.
It was a nurse. There was the doctor. Well, the one doctor you didn't see him die. He was the one that had the needle in his eye. Because that's when the one girl saw him, and that's when he came from behind. He grabbed her, and he had it was like a needle. Something he put in her head, and then he had Bud.
Bud.
Remember her buddy? I think he was the one that was singing that song, "Amazing Grace, come sit on my face."
And then he
was the one that they were in the pool. Remember they had the little tub pool.
It was like a hot tub.
It was like a hot tub. Yeah. He had to adjust the. She wanted because Myers turned the water up to hot. It was like steaming hot. And then he went out there. Remember? And then you see him like he had like a cord or something like, and he just choked. He's like going back and forth.
Boiled her in it.
And then for Bud, after he killed Bud, then he came in, and he grabbed her head and he put her like 5 times. It was just funny because he kept picking her up, and he was like checking her like oh no, still alive or something like that. And then you see her face, skin was getting all melted and everything, and they finally okay, she's dead. And then of course. Yeah, so basically he killed, a certain amount of people. And then, obviously, again, the chase starts again with him and Lori. And, that, of course, like I said, in part 2, that's when you find out they were brother and sister. Because it was the nurse that was in part 1, when Loomis, remember, when he escaped in part 1, that was her. Her name was Miriam, well, in the movie her name was Miriam Chambers. Because remember when Loomis saw her, he was like, what are you doing here?
Right.
And she was the one that explained the whole thing, like about when they adopted her and all that, and they changed her name.
And then they had don't forget the nurse that like he bled out.
Right. Yeah. A couple. Right. What was the thing? A couple of the scenes. Yeah. There was a couple of people that were already dead. You didn't see them. You didn't see them die. They were just already dead. So again, the chase was on. Same thing. He got to her close. Remember, I think it was the elevator scene. Remember, she was pushing the elevator, and so he got closer, and then the elevator opened up, and then he put his knife by the door, and his hand got stuck. He chased
her around the whole hospital up to the point where she got to that room.
Right, there was the room. Right, well, eventually Loomis and them arrived at the hospital, and she after she escaped, she saw them walking. Remember, she was like, "Help, help!" And if I just let
the door had to be locked.
Yeah, and then finally Myers pops out and that's when she's like, and then Loomis lets her in and he shoots him again.
Yeah.
Shot him a couple times.
Didn't he shoot him in the eye or something like that? Like he was
Lori did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lewis just shot him, I guess, around the stomach or somewhere, because then he passed out. Then the marshal cop, remember, he was the one that drove them. Remember, he kept getting closer and closer. Right. Dummy, and Lewis says, like, get away from him. Stop breathing. And then he pops up and he just slices his neck, and then he chases them, Loomis and Lori, because the other nurse, she went outside to call the troopers or whatever, the ambulance or somebody.
It was a short movie. Basically, he got to that one room.
The one room.
Tanks.
Well, Loomis. Yeah, because Loomis was setting up he was setting it up. Then eventually Myers busted in. Yeah. Loomis was ready to shoot him. Then Myers took the knife and stabbed him, I guess, in his stomach or something, because the blood came out. Yeah. He was just unconscious. Then he was getting ready to kill Lori. That's when she took the gun, and then.
Yeah, he's got
and then the cover, and then he had to cover his eyes. And then Loomis wakes up, and he's turning on the oxygen tanks, making Lori, 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 get out of here now. And then finally, Loomis takes the match. It's time, Michael. So the whole blows up.
A lot of people thought, that was it.
Right.
They thought Michael and Loomis were dead.
Both of them are dead. The thing is too, don't forget the end too. Remember, eventually you see Michael just walking in the fire. Yeah, you just see him out of nowhere walking. And then finally he just drops dead on the floor. That
literally could have been the end of Michael Myers.
I heard about I think I heard about that. That supposedly, I think they were even just getting the whole saga there, if I remember right from what I heard. So that was it. I mean, and the funny thing is, because part 2 ended, and you see Lori, she gets taken on the stretcher again, and you didn't see Loomis. So where was
you just assumed he was dead.
You assumed he was dead in the explosion. So basically, part 2 ends there, and then we get into. We'll talk about it real fast. We're not going to be long. We won't be long on this one. Next will be Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. Michael Myers was not in this one. He had nothing to do with this one. I don't know what the people were thinking creating this one. But basically, yeah, it takes place at it's like a factory or somewhere.
It was like some guys, like they looked like the Men in Black. They was chasing after the one guy.
Tom Atkins.
Yeah.
It was Tom. Yeah, we talked about it. Tom Atkins. He was in, like I said, he did My Bloody Valentine, the remake.
Like androids or something.
Right, and they had a thing where they can where on the TVs, right, where they had the jack-o'-lantern or the pumpkin come up. And the guy would say, it's time, put on your masks and watch the jack-o'-lantern. Watch.
2 more days to Halloween.
Happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock. Right, and like you said, right, so you put the mask on and eventually...
Well, it would hypnotise you.
It would hypnotise you, right. And you saw what happened. The mask, started crushing his skin or whatever.
But that was a kid, too.
Did
his head blow off or something?
It didn't blow off. He passed... What happened was the mask crushed him, and when he fell down, it was like bugs and...
Gotcha.
Bugs and caterpillars came out and stuff, and...
It was just an all-around weird movie.
It was a weird movie. And here's something else too. The guy in charge of the factory or plant, whatever it was, if you remember this, was Daniel O'Leary. Now, I don't know if you remember him or not, but if you remember, he was in RoboCop. He was the old man, man in RoboCop, the boss. The one who went, "You call this a glitch?"
Yeah.
Dick. The old man. That was him. He was actually in charge of the of that place. So he was in part one of the other movies that he did outside of RoboCop. So, I mean, basically, I think basically, Tom Atkins. I think he found a way to. I think he stopped. I think they did. I think they did all die at the end. And then he had a girl. Remember, I think there was a girl that helped him too. Eventually, they turned her into she became a robot.
I don't remember too much.
Yeah, she she got kidnapped. I think eventually at the end they turned her into a robot. You didn't notice it toward the end because then you see like the cords and stuff sticking out of her. So, but then just the way it ended, I think they were just playing the song in the background again, and I think he got scared again. So, and I think that's how it ended, if I'm saying it right. So I would end. Well, let's just flat out say, if you want to watch all the Halloween movies in order, you can skip. I would skip part 3 and don't waste your time. But if you just want to say you've seen them all, then be our guest on that one. So okay, so that's how that one ends. Yeah. And now we'll get
like a couple years went by. Well, they, a lot of course, people didn't like Halloween 3, so they came up with
Halloween 4. Yep. So the Return of Michael Myers.
Brought Michael Myers
back, right.
And in my opinion, one of the greatest horror movie openings there is. Like, just the scenery,
right?
Them showing like the scarecrows,
the houses, right? The jack-o'-lanterns, the
music,
pumpkins. Yep. Right. It's like It wasn't the theme music yet. It was just like some kind of opening in the background.
And don't forget, in the new movie, they use the same font. Like the words,
right?
Remember, like the yellow words, so all
right. So this is Halloween 4. Right. So this is Halloween 4: The Return of Michael Myers. Came out in 1988, and the director was Dwight H. Little. The only couple movie familiar roles that I'm familiar with him directing will have to be Broken Arrow from 1996 with John Travolta and Christian Slater, and he did a few other TV roles too. He did a couple Freddy Nightmare episodes.
24.
So, and
it's pretty well known.
He's done a few other roles. You can look him up if you're curious.
He directed Murder at 1600 too with Wesley Snipes.
Did he? Okay, I didn't know that one. So. Yeah. But as we said, you can always look him up too. So he was the director, and then once again, Donald Pleasance returns in this one as well as Dr. Loomis. We'll get into that in a few minutes as well. So
introducing Danielle Harris.
For
the first time
as Jamie Lloyd.
And what was Rachel's name again?
Ellie Cornell.
Yeah.
It's either Ellie or Ely. I think it's Ellie. I think I'm saying it right. Yeah. But for Danielle Harris, of course, she appeared. She's done a few other movies as well. She did. She came back in Part 5, and she also did the Rob Zombie Halloween version movie. She was Annie. So she had a different character, but she did come back and played. She played Annie in Halloween 1 and 2 of the Rob Zombie versions,
which I didn't know until recently.
Really? Yeah. And then Michael Myers was played by George P. Wilbur. He's a stunt man, so he does most of his stunts in the movies. And I actually got to meet him myself. I think we mentioned it before. One of the horror conventions we went to, we got to meet him, talk to him. Nice guy, you know. He mentioned I mentioned about what it was like working with Donald Pleasance. He said he was a great guy, nice guy, and all that. And you know, he said it was sad when he passed away in real life when he passed away. So he was a nice guy, and we got to meet him. So. All right.
So the movie starts off
at the hospital. The people, the patient, the ambulance came. They were going to take Myers and transfer him to Smith's Grove.
Right.
And you know, and we said this before watching the movie. You know, it's like they're trying to save the guy's life.
Yeah.
This is a guy. You know, it's a murderer, and you're saving his life. He
should have just been convicted and just gave him lethal injection and been done with him.
Yeah, he should have been, or bury him in a cemetery. Yeah. I mean, and you're saving his life. At least in Friday the 13th, Jason was buried.
Right.
In part 6, the opening of Jason, he was buried.
Yeah.
So eventually, we don't know how, but they put him in the ambulance, and out of nowhere, he just wakes up out of nowhere.
Well, he overheard.
Right, they were talking about
Jamie.
what relatives were around.
Yeah,
and he mentioned, and she said, Jamie Lloyd, or
because that's the first time he heard about Jamie.
Right.
Like when he heard that he had a niece living in Haddonfield, that's when he like.
Right. You saw his arm, his hand too. He's like getting ready, and then finally, he pops up, and wait, so he took the one paramedic road, slammed him his head in the wall, put his thumb through his forehead. Oh my god! So that's what that triggered him and woke him up. So
this is also the movie where Michael Myers became very strong too. So.
Jeez. So eventually he, you meet Jamie Lloyd for the first time. She just, and it was just it was just a nightmare of seeing Myers.
Well, she was troubled. She had just lost her mom,
her mother, which eventually you find out she faked her death.
Yeah.
Which you'll find out, and which was H2O. You find out about that. It was H2O. I believe it was. It was the first one after.
She's living in a foster house with new parents,
right?
And
her new sister Rachel, as we said, that's Ellie Cornell.
Her stepsister Rachel.
Right. You're right. She just has that quick little nightmare with Myers, because then eventually you finally see Loomis. You see him at the hospital, I think it was.
Yeah.
Talking to Dr. Hoffman.
Right.
And because you could see when he was talking, you could see his face was kind of burned a little bit, or his hands were
Basically,
burned.
They made it seem like he survived the blast,
right?
And he's all burnt now.
And how, right? So, and then he find out the ambulance. You find where the ambulance was. It was crashing to the to lake or something. And of course, Loomis right away. He gets right into it.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah,
what happened.
Yeah, because Hoffman answered the phone. He's like, "Hello, that was an accident." He
just walks out.
Walks right out of the room. So, and then he went to the lake too. Remember, so he's like, "Yeah, he's going."
How many bodies did you find? 4 plus Myers.
He's gone. And then as soon as he found he was gone, he was getting ready to get in his car.
I'm going to Haddonfield.
He reached me through the police, and that's what he says. Yeah, if you don't find him in like 4 hours, I forget 4 hours or something. He says, I'm sure I will.
Yeah. Haddonfield, Illinois.
So Haddonfield, he was on his way, and then he goes to the gas station where Michael Myers was, if you remember. Right. And that's where you see him. He killed the mechanic. Yeah. That's where he got his clothes.
Yeah, he got the mechanic clothes.
The jumpsuit outfit. So that's how he got his clothes. Loomis eventually shows up there.
Right.
And he sees a couple of dead bodies. He has the quick little stare down with Michael. That's what I
always wondered, when he started shooting at him, how they miss him.
How they miss him, right?
He's right in the next room.
Yeah. Before he does, he talks to him real fast. Michael. Yeah. Don't go back to Haddonfield.
Yeah. Michael Myers is like a ninja in this movie. Yeah. He's super quick.
Leave those people at peace. Yeah. Please, Michael. And he just takes the gun. God damn you. Yeah. And then, of course, Michael escapes in the truck.
Yeah.
Blows up the gas station, blows up Loomis's car. So he had to walk. So he's going, drives away.
He also takes out the power lines, too. Not the power lines, the phone lines first.
Oh, right. Yeah. Loomis picked up the phone. Right. Yeah. The phones were messed up. So, So Myers is he's on his way to Haddonfield.
He had a head start.
Yeah, so. And Loomis had to play catch up and walk. So, And of course, Jamie, of course, the kids were picking on her at school.
Yeah.
Talking about how her mommy was dead and all that, and calling her, your uncle's the boogeyman.
And her, I think Rachel's parents, they were trying to go to like some type of interview party.
Later on, right.
Yeah.
So she had the baby, right. She had the...
There's always a party. The parents are never around on Halloween.
So she had the baby, yeah, because then she had to babysit Jamie. And that's when, of course, they go to the discount store where we meet Brady. Rachel's boyfriend. Yeah, maybe. So we meet them, and that's where eventually Michael shows up and finds the mask, of course.
Was he really there, or was she, like, thinking that? Because they did show him grab the mask in the store, but I always thought that was Jamie, like...
No, I think it was. I think it was real.
He actually showed up.
Because when Loomis at the gas station, when Loomis, when he had to stare down real fast, Michael, don't go back to Haddonfield. If you watch the clip, when you see him in the suit, but you don't see, you still have the bandages on,
right?
So I think that was real when he went to the store.
Why didn't he just try and kill her there? Like, why didn't he just like?
I don't know. It's like taunted her.
He could have just like picked her up and broke her neck, and that would have. I don't know. I always thought that was like a dream or something.
No, I think that's I think that's how he really got the mask in part. I think that was real. He was just remember when her friend dropped Jamie and Rachel off, but you saw the truck was there. Remember?
Okay, yeah.
Remember the truck was you see the truck parked on the side. So he was that was real.
Wow.
Brady, got some Brady.
I guess he was just waiting for the right time then.
Right.
Yeah.
That's when Rachel eventually. Well, I'm sorry. Well, Brady flipped out of Rachel because that's when Brady had. Rachel had to tell Brady, my babysitter canceled.
Oh yeah, her babysitter broke her leg.
Broke her leg
at the ice rink.
And then Brady all of a sudden just out of nowhere. Yeah. When did this happen? Today.
Yeah.
Just now. Yeah. It's like it's 5 o'clock, Rachel. It's 5 o'clock, Rachel.
Right.
He's like, don't get angry with me. I'm not angry.
Yeah. You also meet Kelly,
who was kind of eavesdropping in that conversation.
The sheriff's daughter.
The sheriff's daughter of which we'll get to. That's right, Ben Meeker.
Yeah, Ben Meeker.
Right. You found out that Sheriff Brackett, who was in Part 1 and 2, retired to St. Petersburg. Sheriff Brackett was played by Bo Starr. The only, I know we didn't get a chance to look him up too much. The only other movie I'm familiar that he appeared in, I don't know if you remember this or not, but he was in Speed with Keanu Reeves. He was the one. There was when Keanu Reeves got he got an award. It was like a presentation, and he got an award or something for. I guess they thought they killed Dennis Hopper's character,
right?
And that was Bo Starr that said, for bravery and all that. That was him on that. That was him up there.
Which makes sense. Like all those movies came out around the same time.
Right, but for now that's pretty much all.
Because the director for this movie also directed Rapid Fire with Brandon Lee.
Okay.
Yep. So.
All right. So of course he came back in Part 5 as the sheriff too. So right. So anyway, so then eventually Myers has his mask, so now you see him the way we're used to seeing him now.
Remember the bet. If you ask her out.
Yeah. Right. And
I'm not afraid of
I'm not afraid of the sheriff, yeah.
I'm not afraid of the sheriff.
Sure, I'm not afraid of her daddy. Right, and she goes up to her, he didn't even get a chance to say anything. She's trying to just like, fuck off, Wade.
Yeah, F off, Wade.
Fuck off, Wade. So, alright, so Jamie, besides that, Jamie did get her costume before she got scared to death.
Well, at first she didn't want to go trick-or-treating, but...
Right, but because the kids were making fun of her, now she decided to, I want to go trick-or-treat. I thought you want to. And she got her ice cream, I guess, too.
You know what's funny? They never showed Rachel's friend after
the scene where he dropped her off?
Yeah.
I know, yeah. Just a quick,
Well, she was the smart one because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're getting ready to go. Right. So then they get back to the house. Then the parents are getting ready to go out.
Yep. It's around 6 o'clock, so it's getting dark.
Right.
So.
That's when Jamie went to put her costume on. Rachel called Brady.
Yeah.
It was Brady there. He wasn't home yet.
Right.
He wasn't back from work yet. We'll get to that, of course.
And Jamie picked out the same costume as Michael Myers did.
In Part 1, right?
In the
first one where he killed his sister.
Costume.
Right, where he killed his sister.
Yep.
Judith Myers. So.
And basically, the parents leave.
The parents leave. They go trick or treating.
Right.
And then Meeker and Loomis were trying to find Jamie. That's when Loomis, and that was the other thing too, when Loomis flipped out the station.
Yeah.
When Meeker didn't believe him at first. 6 body sheriffs. Yeah. That's what I've seen between Haddonfield and Richmond. I'll tell you, Michael Myers is here in this town.
And around the same time, that's when Michael Myers went to the power station.
Right, the guy,
Bucky.
Bucky, the electrician. Right, yeah. He gave, don't try that Halloween shit on me. All right. I'm gonna call the police.
Wait right there.
Don't you even think about leaving? And he picks him up.
Yeah, he picks him up and throws him like 10 feet
around the power controls, I guess. And he's just shaking himself to death.
He's superhuman now.
Yeah, and Mark's just like sitting there watching. Yeah. And as soon as he dies, he just walks away.
Because remember, I said he's intelligent now.
Right.
He took out the phone lines.
Right.
He went to the police station, killed all the police officers, and then he took out the power to the entire city. So he planned this.
He knows how to do it all. Right. It's just funny though. My thing is, we said this before. Sometimes these killings, you don't see them happen, but they're already done though.
Yeah.
It's you just it'd be nice to if you get to see them.
Right.
So then eventually, of course, later on we meet Earl the bartender. The beer bellies.
Yeah.
There. So eventually they
they were like the hunting guys. They carried the shotguns and the hunting rifles.
Right. Well, they called the police because the guy on the TV said to shut all the close all closed areas and take people home. And that's what I called. Remember, he called the station, and Mary said, "Just rings."
Yeah.
Where are we going? We're going to bed. Yeah. Phone doesn't just ring.
I'm not closing down without a
good goddamn reason. Phone doesn't ring it up. Phone doesn't just ring at the police station. Let's go wake up the sheriff. So they were on their way. Jeez.
And what happened?
And then Jamie. Well, right, we'll get to that. But don't forget first, Jamie and Rachel. They split up.
Yeah.
Because Jamie bumped into the kids from school.
Right.
They wanted her, so they finally they all of a sudden friends. They asked her to trick or treat.
Who was making fun of her.
Right. So they went trick or treating, and then they went to Kelly's house.
Yeah.
And of course, who do you see in the background? Brady.
Sleeping with Kelly.
So she got all ticked off. So he says, "Oh, so you move on to the next best thing." I just got a little pissed off. Yeah, we'll have fun with I figured have fun with Miss Goody Two Shoes or something.
Little Miss Hot Panties.
Little Miss Hot Panties. So that was the end of that. Brady, you come back inside?
Yeah.
It's just funny seeing Brady. At first he was just ticked off, and he's like he didn't go home. And he's of course I'm gonna go back in.
And she's wearing this shirt cops do it by the book.
Cops do it by the book.
Yeah, that's all she had on was a shirt and her panties.
Yeah. I know. It's you're giving out candy. Yeah, I know, right? You're giving out candy to the kids, and you got your panties on.
Well, it's a long shirt, it came down to the knees, but I highly doubt that she had anything. She might have not had anything on. Who knows?
Well, she had a bra. Well, eventually, when they make love, she had a bra on. But still, the legs are sticking out though.
That's when Jamie got separated from her.
That's what I said out there, right? Because that's when because the kid said, "Jamie, come with us." Mm-hmm. Her and Rachel and Brady started talking.
Right.
Then eventually, because then the people, you see the people driving by, getting them off the streets. Mm-hmm. And then that's when they finally got lost. They had to find each other. And then eventually we get back to the beer belly guys. Mm-hmm. They accidentally kill a guy, Ted Hollister.
Yeah. Damn it, Earl! It's Ted
Hollister.
Here's Myers. He's behind the bush.
Yeah. Yeah, but they shoot him a zillion times, and then you dumb son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You said you saw Myers.
You said you saw Myers.
So eventually,
they never showed you what Ted Hollister looked like. But
no, he didn't.
He probably got shot about 10 or 15 times.
I said 4 or 5 guys shooting him to death.
Well, he's behind the bush, taking a crap. So it's
is that what he was doing?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you see him move back there, and maybe he was half drunk. Who knows? So eventually, Loomis and Meeker. Well, eventually Jamie and Rachel they finally meet up. Well, Rachel sees Myers at first, so she runs for her life.
Yeah.
And then finally they get together, and that's when Meeker and Loomis finally find them, get them in the car. They drove away. Well,
remember those guys with the?
Well, yeah. First they were having a little fun. Yeah, they were all had the Myers, joking around.
Is that him?
Yes.
Don't shoot!
Don't shoot! Ha ha! You thought it was me, Sheriff. Yeah, go home, damn it. If you catch your ass again, it's a weekend in jail. So, right. So then they go to they go to the sheriff's house because the
first they go back to
the station first, right? Because the place was destroyed. And that's when the sheriff just couldn't. He was getting scared. It was obvious.
Yeah, that's when he really got scared.
Right.
It's like, what are we dealing?
What are we dealing with here? Tell me, what are we dealing with here? Just one word: evil.
Evil.
That was it. Evil. Loomis. Evil. Yeah, Donald Pleasance. He was just the best at this role. Malcolm McDowell. No offense to Malcolm McDowell, but he just stunk as Dr. Loomis in the Rob Zombie version. Donald Pleasance was the best. Right.
Killed the dog too.
Well, that's right. Yeah, because Myers was in the house earlier on when nobody was out.
Actually, remember, like he saw like a picture of himself, and he's like, I don't want to see that.
Right.
And
he saw Lori.
Like, picked up Lori.
He saw Lori's picture, and then
he finally saw what Jamie looked like.
Right, and he saw the dog too. The dog was dead. Sunday, right? Sunday. The dog's name was Sunday. Yeah, that's also when Meeker said at the house too. This is starting to spook me, Doc.
Right.
Yeah, down at the station, and it's. We'll never forget when they went outside after they left the station.
Earl.
Earl and the beer belly guys show up. And Loomis.
That's when you find out that Earl's son had died. Like,
is that what he said? Did he say something? Yeah, Earl died 10 years ago or something.
I'm gonna take care of myself.
No, he says we're gonna fry his ass. Yeah, because Loomis he just opens his mouth. It was Michael Myers. Yeah. He's come home to kill.
You just started a lynch mob.
You just started a lynch mob.
You don't have a police force.
You haven't got a police force. They may be the help you can get. So they're off.
I did like that truck though, with like the lights on the front.
Oh, okay.
And the guy, he's got the like the sniper rifle. He's standing up on the back. Yeah, let's go.
Jeez. So, all right. Then they go to the sheriff's house.
Yep.
That's where Brady and Kelly were doing it.
Yep.
In front of the fireplace.
Well, they were trying. They almost did.
Well, they almost did. Okay. They were starting.
My dad.
Right. Well, Kelly said, "Let's go upstairs." Which they should have. Yeah. Because then Brady's like, no, we're doing fine right here. Yeah. Yeah. Then eventually they pulled up. They had to get dressed. My dad catches you. He's gonna skin you alive. So they come in, and don't forget too, the Deputy Logan.
Right.
Remember he was at the house first. He was at the house first. Right. He was at the house first. Then eventually, he gets in the car. And you see Myers sitting in the back. While he's laying down the back seat.
Yeah. Deputy Logan brought Michael Myers to the house.
Yeah, he brought him. He gave him a ride. Yeah. Yeah, because remember when he got to the house, Meeker told him, he said, "Go out, Logan, go out and get your gun." Yeah. And he went out there. Remember, he just saw the door was open. He's like,
"Why is the back door open?"
Why is my back door open? Yeah.
You mean to tell me he didn't notice Michael Myers in the back?
Yeah, or breathing too. God forbid hear somebody breathing back there.
Michael Myers was like a ninja in this movie.
That's what I said. I would have. As soon as I heard somebody breathe, I would pull over, get out of the car, and probably shoot him.
I'm driving. I always look at the back.
Look at the back seat of the car. Well, I remember Annie in part one. Yeah. Remember in the car. Remember. Yeah. And here's the thing too. Just real fast, going back to part one. Remember when she didn't have the keys?
Right.
Well, remember when she back and got the keys? She goes back, and the door's open.
And the door, yeah.
She didn't even say nothing. Like, wait, the door's open. She just gets in the car. And then eventually, what
I wanted to know is how he opened it.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. But she didn't say I thought the door was locked.
Maybe he had one of those Jimmy locks where he's like.
I don't know. And then you see his head pop up, and of course he grabs her by the neck and chokes her, and I think he slices her neck or something. So anyway, so they're at Meeker's house. They go downstairs. They call. They try to call the state police or somebody.
Right. Well, he tells Brady and. Everybody to board up the windows.
To board up the window. Yeah, Brady. You want to tell me what this is about? Maybe I should just go home and call my parents. Yeah. And of course, when you get in the shotgun. Oh, by the way, Brady. Catch you go up with my daughter. I'm going to use that shotgun on you. Yeah. And he's like, okay.
He knew they were messing around.
He's no fool.
It's funny. He didn't tell his daughter to go put some clothes on. She's still walking around with the shirt.
Yeah, trying to underwear. Yeah, I'd be like, you want to cover
your coworker's there with you.
Not just that, and you got Jamie. You got Jamie at the, and you got little Jamie at the house too. Cover. Yeah, you might want to cover up. Until I make some coffee.
Right.
So so they go. Well, Jamie and Rachel, they go up in the one bedroom. She lays down. Brady goes upstairs, starts hammering. Yeah. Hurts his fingernail. And, jeez.
That's when Loomis leaves.
Well, first they're downstairs. That's when the cop or somebody called in. Remember, he said, Lewis.
Well, they had to get on the radio because the power was out. That's the only thing that worked.
Right, because he had like a generator or something. Right, yeah. And that's when, that's when the guy called. Guy came through. Remember, it's like, what's going on out there? Meeker explained the whole thing. We got a killer running loose in the streets. It's Michael Myers. And remember, the guy. Oh, it's some kind of Halloween prank. Well, we know. We need them troopers. We need them now. So Loomis, he was down there for a few minutes, and he leaves first. Mm-hmm. He goes. I think he was going to go back to the house, right? Because that's what he said. Remember, he's like, I'm going to the house. That's where he'll be.
Right.
So he was gone. Then eventually Meeker left.
Yeah, because he heard on the radio that
they killed the bartender guy.
Hollister's dead.
Ted Hollister. No, it's Ted Hollister. Ted Hollister. Yeah, they just killed Ted Hollister.
I got to go out and see what's going on.
Right, that's what we're saying. We were joking about that. Like, it's a big deal. Earl must have a big bar, and they all know who he is. I guess. I don't know.
Plus, they were half drunk too. Like,
it might have been. They were drinking the beer before they left. Well, remember before Earl left the bar. Remember Earl Face is like. Gulp down a beer and then finally, let's go.
They're out there shooting people.
Right, so then Meeker left, and then eventually Myers. Eventually you finally you see him get in the house.
Yeah.
Because Rachel and Kelly, they had a little confrontation about Brady.
I didn't know you and Brady had a thing.
Yeah. You knew.
You knew. You just didn't care.
What is it? And she said something about the women. Something about what the women want, Rachel. No, I think it's what you want, or something like that. And it's
it won't be the last guy you
have, or something.
To a woman.
Lose to a woman, right? And she splashed coffee. Here, have some coffee. Yeah. So then eventually, Kelly comes out with the coffee. Yeah. I mean, she makes a lot of coffee. And like I said, half the people in the house.
She finally actually put like a jacket on too.
Well, she had to. She got coffee on her shirt.
Yeah.
So, and then remember she takes the mat, like the candles.
Yep.
And you see Logan on the ground. He was dead, and then Myers had the.
He's so clever in this movie.
Yeah, he had the gun. Yeah, he's like rocking on the chair, and then finally he just gets up, and then I don't know what he did. Like takes the gun and.
He just rammed the
stomach or something,
right through her,
right, or stomach or something into the door. Yeah, it's like falls.
It was like like superhuman strength.
Jeez. So Kelly's dead. Yeah, that was. Yeah, he faked. Yeah, he was pretending. Good. Yeah. He's smart. He gets up and then he kills Kelly. So Kelly's gone.
And Brady's like, "We got to get out of here. You think she has a chance?"
Right. Then eventually, right? Because remember, because Rachel went downstairs.
Yeah.
That's right. Because that's when Meeker left. Remember, and she told her to stay. You stay there. If anybody gets on there, you tell them we'll be, respond back or something.
Right.
Because then she told her, when they respond back to tell Deputy Logan, and that's when she finally went back, upstairs, Deputy Logan,
right.
they're on their way, Deputy Logan, and then she sees Logan on the ground, and of course she sees Kelly hanging up top.
I think Michael Myers just like wrapped his
because he was like crossed like this, so maybe that's what he did, and just like twisting both his arms at the same time, and so. So she sees them, and Jamie come. First Jamie wasn't in the bedroom, and then eventually she comes down.
Yeah.
Brady too. we gotta get out. We gotta get out of here. He fires the gun, and the door was locked. It's metal. It's metal. What's that mean? We're trapped in this house. Yeah. And then
why didn't he just try and go out through the window or something?
No, because he bolted the windows, didn't he?
I mean,
at least upstairs he did. Yeah. The attic, they were trapped in. Because then remember. First you see Myers, getting ready to come up the stairs. Brady was telling Rachel and Jamie, "Go, get out of here." Yeah. He's like getting ready to load the shot. He's not gonna run with him. He's putting the gun. Of course, he was having a hard time. He's like, "What the? Get in there!" So he's getting closer and closer. And finally, he was getting ready. And then
he fired the gun off when Michael Myers.
He came. When he pushed him, fell on the wall. Then he took the gun. He whacked him a couple times in the face. And then as he was about to do it again, he grabbed the one part, the other part, and he bashed him right in the head. He falls back, throws the gun down, and Brady still doesn't run away.
Right.
He gets up.
He's a trooper.
He's ready. And then he grabs his arm, and then eventually he grabs his head.
Another superhuman moment.
Right, picks him up, and I know you hear like a pop sound.
He crushed his head, and then
there's like a pop. Remember? You're like a pop, and it just ends there. And then Rachel, so they go up to the attic.
Right.
That's when Rachel wasted time. Leave us alone, please leave us alone. Like that's good. Like that's gonna help out.
She's trying to reason with him.
Yeah, that's like with the Terminator. He can't be reasoned with. Yeah, he can't be bought. that's what it was. That's it was like the bad guy Arnold Schwarzenegger. You can't be will not stop ever until you are dead. Kyle Reese, part one. He will not stop until you are dead. Yeah. So they got to the attic. Eventually, they
started climbing on the roof.
They had to climb. Right. They had to break the glass window because they were hammered in. And that's when Myers, out of nowhere, he just happens to see the knife. Remember, he just walks up and he just went. He pulls the knife out right there. Yeah. They get on the roof. He comes up on the roof.
He was walking pretty steady.
Right. He was. Yeah. They're like crawling. Yeah. She's like crawling up and everything, losing her balance.
She had Jamie on her back.
Right. Yeah. He's walking, and then finally he was getting ready. He's swung at her a few times.
She took like the cable line and wrapped it around. She's like, "I'm going to lower you down."
Right. As she was getting ready to. That's when Myers started to get her with the knife, and then Rachel. Then she was on the tip of the gutters.
Yeah.
Myers was like trying to grab her fingers and finally she just gave up. Let go as she falls out.
She fell about 4 stories.
Right.
When you think about it.
And then we talked about this too. When Jamie got down and she went to check on Rachel. And then I don't know, not even 10 seconds, you just see Mars walk out of the.
I guess he jumped off the roof or something.
Well, if he jumped off the roof, he's pretty quiet jumping off the roof. Yeah, finally.
Because he walks there's no way he walked down all those steps and went out the front door.
I know, it's crazy. He just sees his feet and and she takes off. How the hell? That's a shame too. It's funny too. She screaming her lungs out for help. Like, isn't there people still in their houses? Yeah.
Well, you would think, if the power went out, someone would be in the neighborhood.
I don't know. Well, I remember part 1 with Lori, when she was, I remember she went to the one house, she was, knocking on the door, and the guy, they peeked, she's like, oh, help me, can you please help me? Yeah. And again, the person just closed the blinds, turned away,
I guess it's that type of neighborhood where people are like, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're on your own. Yeah. So eventually, so Jamie runs for eventually bumps into Loomis. Yeah. And then that's when they go to the schoolhouse. Well, first she's like, "No, I just want to go home." He's like, "No, you can't go home. That's where he'll go. He'll go to the house." So they go to then they go to the school, and then of course we talked about this. They go inside the school. Mm-hmm. They thought they were safe. Yeah. And then you see Myers out of nowhere, and remember we mentioned this too. Yeah. The mask was different. It was a different mask. If you've seen the movie, you know what we're talking about. Picks up Loomis and throws Loomis through the glass or somewhere. Now, here's the thing: to my brother Matt, if you're watching this, I know you told me before about what happened with the mask situation. Yeah. So if you're watching this, comment below and help us out. So everybody knows the.
I'm sure somebody will.
Yeah, my brother or somebody the mask situation on that scene there.
It was just a weird looking different.
It was mask. Right. It was like blonde instead of the dark hair. It was blonde. It was like a blonde hair at the top, but the white part was the same, but the hair was different. So anyway, but that's what happened. So Jamie's on her own now.
He tried to grab Jamie.
Right. Yeah, he almost did. And then
she tripped and fell down the stairs.
She fell down the stairs. Right. And you see. Well, then you see Myers with the regular mask on again. And then out of nowhere, Rachel shows up, the fire extinguisher, and puts it all over Michael. So he's unconscious. And then eventually Earl and the boys get to the school. Because remember, the schoolhouse. Yeah. They were getting ready to go inside. Michael's in there. Yeah. Let's fight. Because let's get this bastard. So no, he'll kill you too.
State troopers are on
their way. We gotta get out of here.
Let them deal with it.
I don't know about you, but that sounds like a good idea. Let's get the hell out of here. Let the troopers have it. That's what they get paid for. Yeah, screw it. Let's get out of here. Right. Yeah, so they're on their way. Earl calls the other bar guys. I don't know. It's like, I got Jamie.
He had a walkie-talkie.
Yeah, Mary says, I got Jamie and Jamie and his sister with us in the car. We're taking him, And then you finally see the troopers come by. Yeah. And then they explain everything. The cop tells Mary that there's a police station 4 miles down the road or something. Yeah, 4 or 5 miles.
And then we have another ninja moment.
Oh my God, they're in the car driving. Everything will be okay. Yeah, I know. Nice relaxing right
Now
off.
I've seen people do this before,
God.
but not that far,
Not
going
that
that
far,
fast.
not that long, holding back. Yeah, finally.
So he must have been hanging under the car,
Getting
and
up
he
top.
climbs from the back.
Yeah, right. Gets in.
While
And
still holding on to the knife.
right? Because you see the knife too, right? Right, and then at first the guys are driving, finally turn like, what the? and he throws him.
He even takes him out ninja style too.
And he knocks the two guys off the truck, and then he throws. Just the third guy just throws him off the truck, and it's like Earl, like when he was driving, it looked like it's like he heard them or something.
Well, yeah, he heard some commotion, and he was like,
uh-oh. He didn't say nothing. Yeah, he didn't say nothing. He's just like, and his eyes just popped open.
Yeah.
What's going on back there? So you just see him punch the glass. Yeah, he grabs part of his cheek off.
rips his neck open.
The neck or cheek, yeah, it just pops it. Yeah, pops it open.
I would have screamed too if I saw that.
And then Rachel, it was time for Rachel's turn to drive. What if she had a license? Because you never really saw her drive yet until that scene there. Yeah, pushes her out, and then Marge is on top of the truck. He's like grabbing her by the shoulder, ripping her shirt off or something, and then finally. Yeah, she puts the brakes on.
Yeah.
He falls off the top of the truck.
Yeah.
With the knife still. He rolls down. He's
holding on to the
knife. And this is what I thought was kind of weird. Yeah, he just gets up and he just stands there. Yeah, and you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And he drives. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it's like he's like waiting to get ran over.
I don't care. Hit me.
Yeah, he falls. Yeah, falls on the ground. And the cavalry, Meeker, and all them come finally. And she tells Rachel tells Jamie, I'm just stay right here, right?
Of course.
Don't move.
Of course she doesn't.
Yeah, she gets out of the car and starts. I don't know.
Well, she touched him and looked at that mark on his hand. Well, later on you'll find out what all that is.
Right. Part 5. Well, even the curse too. You find out it's like his.
I
mark.
always thought that she got possessed right at that moment.
Towards the end. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah, it's like she was. I don't know. She was like concerned or something.
She was like in a trance,
just making sure. Like, let me check and see if he's dead or not. I don't know. Because then Meeker and them, remember, said, "Jeremy, get away."
Yeah,
and then he finally.
It's just weird that she got the courage to go up to him
to check on him. Yeah. Then wakes up. Then maybe he was already awake. And yeah, because then you see him make the fist with his knife. And
Jamie, get down.
Wakes up, gets up. Yeah, Jeremy, get down, and all the gun. Zillions of shots. Finally, he falls back, falls in the ditch.
He's holding a knife.
That's right. And falls in the ditch.
Falls down the.
It was like a ditch.
It was actually a well.
Or a well? Is that a well? Okay, so it was a well. Falls in the well, and they just all stand there like is he dead? And then of course the scene ends there. When they get back to the house, they bring Rachel and Jamie home. Babies, and then and that's when Loomis has said,
"I'm gonna."
Well, Loomis. Yeah. Well, yeah. The sheriff says it's over, and then Loomis says, "Yes, Michael Myers is in hell, buried where he belongs." And then then the stepmother takes Jamie upstairs, runs the water for her bath.
Time for your bath.
They pretty much all just sit there quietly. All of a sudden you just see. Well, first you just see.
You see her like put on the mask.
Yeah, you just see her walking around. And then he goes in the bathroom, and then mother just she's just like
she grabs the scissors.
In the bathroom she grabs the scissors, right? And she just and then the mother just turns on like all of a sudden here. And of course Loomis.
Loomis was about to blow her away.
Well, first he's like no. No!
The sheriff grabs her.
Give me that gun! No!
He's standing there with the scissors.
And he's like crying like no.
It's like that's the sound he made.
It was like a frown too. He was like smiling like.
So basically, she got possessed. That's right.
She got possessed, right? They're all Rachel and the father just looking at her, and she just takes the knife and raises the scissors and fade them back. That's how it ends.
I had to wait a whole year until part 5 with that cliffhanger.
Part 5, right? Eventually you find out what happens in part 5. they try to throw explosives and bombs in there. He was able to just escape, and then he falls in the ocean.
It was basically a year later.
It was. It came out in 1980. It was. They were made a year apart.
Well, the movie was a year later, and the story was a year later too.
Right, because he was unconscious for a year,
which I find ridiculous. So,
but I know we'll talk.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to part. Yeah, that would be Halloween 5: The Revenge of Michael Myers.
Right.
So yeah, definitely. But I'll tell you what, though. I mean, part 4. This one I enjoyed. I thought this one was good.
Part 4 is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I thought this one was good. Part 1, of course, is a classic, and then two was good too. It was alright. I mean, when we get to 5, we'll talk about that one soon. Because they're 1 year apart. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to. I look forward to we get to 5 in the future. So yeah, definitely a good movie. I recommend it. I would check it out. Yeah. So. I
like the beginning and the end.
Right, the opening with the house and the scarecrow and all that, and then of course at the end with Jamie. What happens with Jamie after after that scene? Right. Find out in part 5.
I had to wait a whole year.
Yeah, to find out. Yeah, when they finally make it a part 5. So now we get to find out. Did she go on a killing spree? Did she carry on Michael's work?
I remember when it finally came out. Like I flew to Sam Goody to get the VHS.
VHS tape. Yeah, that's right. VHS was back in.
I was literally like in the store, like, where is it?
That's right. Yeah, VHS. No DVDs, no Blu-rays, nothing back then. Just VHS. VHS. That's how you had to watch your movies before they restore the colorations and all that. And
this is the complete collection, so you can get on Blu-ray.
Right. This set is on Blu-ray. It's the first. I guess you can call it the first 10. It starts from part 1 of 78 and it goes up to the Rob Zombie versions from the 2 Rob Zombie versions. Because when the new one came out, last year before, obviously it wasn't, that's why it wasn't included in the set yet, because they didn't make the new ones yet. So,
right.
And from what I do know, speaking of the new versions, there are a new one that came out. I believe it will be a trilogy. If I'm saying it right, it's going to be a trilogy.
Yeah, they've confirmed that.
It is confirmed, so we'll find out. How Michael escapes the fire, in which Laurie burned the whole house down. He was trapped in the basement.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that when that comes out in the future, and we'll see what the third one will be after that. So that's good to see. Good to see. We'll have more Michael Myers coming out. Down the road, so, but and George P. Wilbur, the guy who played Michael Myers in part 4, he did his own stunts. It was all him.
Mm-hmm.
That was him that was flying around and all that. And he did He didn't do part 5. He did do but he came back in part 6.
Okay.
Yeah, some reason part 5 was played by Don Shanks. So we'll talk about that in the future. So, but yeah, this is a good set too, as we said. Yep, starts with part 1 from 1978.
Yeah.
So it's got 1, 2. Yes, and it does have Season of the Witch. Then 4, 5, 6.
You can skip over that.
Yeah, skip over part 3. Yeah, the Revenge part 5, the Curse, H2O, Resurrection, and then the 2 Rob Zombie versions. Right. So that's all. And Return of Michael Myers. That's all. That's what you get in this good set. And you get some features. Some of the movies have some features on it. It's got either vintage clips and interviews or recent interviews. So if you love just Halloween in general, the movies, definitely I would definitely recommend this to add to the collection along with the new one that just came out. So very good stuff. Good stuff. And
I think we just about covered everything.
I think we got it all done, my friend. I think we covered part 4, and like I said, in the future we'll talk about part 5 and whatever other movies we have in stored. And we say this all the time. If people have any suggestions or you got a movie for us you want us to talk about, let us know. Leave in the comments below, and we'll, as always, we'll look into it. Hopefully we'll have it and we'll talk about it. So.
And I'm going to drop everything else down into the description, so be sure to check that out.
Absolutely. All right.
And, just as always, give it a like and subscribe for more. We always take requests, just like Mike said. I want to thank you once again for coming out.
Thank you for having me. Yeah. And one more thing, too. We did record this after Halloween, right. So just for the heck of it, happy belated Halloween, everybody.
We wanted to get it up on Halloween.
We were gonna try. We didn't have a time, so hopefully you kids out there got to go trick or treating, get all your candy, and enjoy your snacks. So yep, all right.
Yeah. That's just about it. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace.